All right, hey, let's talk. Eric Arnold here in the Politics Barn, the evening after the historic debate on, what is this, the 28th of June? All right, let's talk. What did we see? What do we know? Look, I mean, if you've seen Joe Biden give a speech, answer a question, walk across the grass towards a helicopter in the last 6 months, you saw the debate. You just saw 90 minutes of it rather than 15 seconds at a time. The guy can't talk. He is an old, doddering man. He is unqualified to do anything. I mean, you wouldn't hire this guy to cut your grass. You wouldn't hire this guy to clip coupons out of the newspaper for you. You wouldn't hire him to do anything. Honestly, I don't know that this matters to the American voter. I really don't. John Fetterman got elected senator here in Pennsylvania, and he was basically a dementia patient too after a stroke, and they just didn't care. Voters in Pennsylvania simply did not care. It did not matter one iota. Fetterman drew as many votes as all the other Democrat candidates on the ballot in that cycle. There was no Fetterman's incapable poll or vote bump. It didn't exist. It didn't matter to the voter. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you people, and I know right now you're basically out there doing cartwheels and high-fiving everybody and going, yeah, we got him, the sons of bitches. No, we don't have him. I had an epiphany going into this, and I was going to make a video prior to the debate just to calm everyone down, because I know a lot of you people were so nervous that this was a trap. How on earth could Trump let himself get boxed into this box canyon where he's going to be ambushed by the Indians? Oh my God. And the epiphany was that these debates don't matter at all. At all. Nothing. Zero. No effect on the outcome of the election. I mean, seriously, do you really think that, thinking back, 40-some years, that my father sat at his kitchen table in 1980, right before he went to vote, and said, you know, if it wasn't for Ronald Reagan asking me whether I'm better off now than I was 4 years ago, I would have never thought of that. Of course, he didn't do that. He already knew that he was not better off than he was 4 years ago. He knew this. All the voters knew this. You know, Ronald Reagan didn't need to ask that question. If that debate had never happened, Ronald Reagan was still going to win that election easily. Basically what happens is whoever wins the election gets to write history. So they're the ones then to go back and say, well, yeah, right here, this is where Donald Trump lost it in 2020 because he did bad on this debate. And then, of course, and the debates are basically a media creation anyway. And who runs the media? The Democrats. So, you know, they love to talk about debates. But ultimately, they really don't matter at all. They really don't. So, you know, what's going to happen now? Well, it's kind of up to the Democrats, but get ready for, it's totally plausible that Joe Biden isn't going anywhere. Now, I kind of think that might be good just because, yes, he looked, as far as outcomes tonight, I don't know, we could have done better, you know. Trump certainly didn't lose tonight. You know, I don't want to talk you people down too much and depress you. Trump did not lose tonight. He did win tonight. Yes, he did win. He is clearly the superior candidate. Simply on the ability to stand up and be able to string 4 sentences together. What those sentences are, you know, who knows? No, Democrats don't care. In other words, like I said, and where the tables turned, would we care? In other words, if it was Donald Trump that was demented and he was running against the devil Joe Biden, I wouldn't give a shit what he said. I'd be voting for Trump and not Biden. There's no way in hell I would vote for Joe Biden because he's an evil communist. Well, the Democrats see it this, from their communist eyes, Donald Trump is everything that they're against. He's for capitalism. He's for free markets. They hate that stuff. They don't want to give the little guy any kind of choice, any kind of power, the ability to speak freely. They might lose their own power, so they're against that stuff. So they don't give a damn what Joe Biden's condition is. The independents, you say? What do they care? Yeah, I mean, Trump is winning right now. I'm convinced of that. He is winning in the polls. How much he's winning, debatable. Now, one thing I am kind of thinking is happening, just based on what happened tonight, I kind of think the Democrats are going to give another try to getting Biden out of there. That just too many things happened tonight that don't normally happen. Usually, the Democrats have incredible party discipline. People do not talk out of school unless they've been given permission to talk out of school in the Democrat Party. They are, it's a totalitarian regime. So you want to get yourself thrown out of the totalitarian regime and have very bad things happen to you, go against the leadership. So people were tweeting, just way too many people, now of course I'm not watching these Democrat outlets like CNN. I didn't watch the debate. My doctor says I can't stand that kind of stress. It's not good for me. I hate Joe Biden so much I didn't want to see it. I watched enough clips afterwards to form an opinion on what happened. But the way too many tweets being read off by, Fox hosts that, I'm going to assume they're accurate. In other words, that the tweet exists or the comment was made by a Democrat operative. And it was all along the lines of, shit, this is bad. We got to start thinking about getting rid of this guy. It's like, wait a minute. Whoa, I thought this guy was spry. I thought this guy, Joe Scarborough, is telling me how great and what a hero this guy is behind the scenes. And he's so smart and snappy and with it that he makes all his younger people look like fools. It's like, okay. Now, we all knew he was lying. And now he's been exposed as a liar he is. Give me a break. That guy gets exposed every other day to be the liar that he is. But, he's exposed once again that the entire Democrat Party was lying when they're running around saying what a snappy, on top of it guy Joe Biden is behind the scenes, and it's all lies that he's a doddering old man. Now we all saw for himself he is in fact a doddering old man, and of course the Democrats are lying about it, have been lying about it, and I assume will continue to lie about it. Maybe. That's where they're stuck. They're at a crossroads. I heard something interesting today, and I haven't confirmed this. I'm just going to repeat it and say it's a rumor. I have no idea if this is true or not. I think it could be true. Michelle Obama does not like the Bidens. Now, why? I think for a number of reasons. One, I don't think she believes that they're competent, and I believe that she thinks that they're soiling her legacy. Yes, along with her husband's, although I'm sure she sees that as their legacy, not Barack's legacy. But that they're just simply not that competent. So, their communism isn't very popular right now, and Joe Biden's largely to blame for that. But also that Michelle Obama is friends, I don't know, with Kathleen, I believe it was, Kathleen Biden, former first wife of Hunter Biden. And again, I got to look this up. I got to run this down. This was just brought up to me, and I'm like, it could be true. Think about it. It makes sense, though. I mean, she's the first lady, right? Kathleen Biden would be the first daughter-in-law or vice daughter-in-law. Jill and Joe, and then there's Hunter and his wife Kathleen. Kathleen was the one that was kicked to the curb when Hunter couldn't wait to bang his dead brother's widow. And so Kathleen, she got the boot. And I imagine that might have annoyed her friend Michelle. It's like, wait a minute, that's kind of shitty. I don't like that. I don't like these people already, and now that's happening? Now I really don't like these people. So, that's just another reason why the Obamas don't like the Bidens. Again, supposition, got to run it down, feels true. So if the Obamas, who I believe are running the show, along with Jill Biden, that between the two of them, I think for the most part, they generally agree on what to do as far as policy goes. But when strategy or who's going to run the show, now it looks like Joe he's not likely to win. If you believe Democrat pollster Nate Silver, I believe his initial projection gave Biden, this was before the debate, gave him about a 33% chance of winning. That's pretty, again, I'm not sure if that's Nate's honest belief, or is he trying to steer this such that Biden gets out and we get another candidate? Hard to tell. Honestly, I think Biden has a much higher chance at 33%. I still think this is much closer to a 50-50 race, cadaver or no cadaver. So what are they going to do? I guess we'll pay attention in the next few days, see how they're going to handle this. You got a couple things coming up here quick. Trump is going to have to go to New York and be sentenced. I don't know what happens there. In other words, are they going to actually put this guy in jail? He is, to hear Nate Silver tell it, he has a 2/3 chance of becoming elected the next president of the United States. And that weak old man is going to put him in jail to try to skew and steal the election. Man, I kind of think, it's like, I think this is backfiring every time they do something like this, because, Trump just seems to get more and more popular, and all this lawfare just seems to keep backfiring on him. You're going to get a decision from the Supreme Court in the next day or two about whether Trump has immunity. It's pretty well expected that they will say he does not have immunity, which will kickstart then frantic action by Judge Chuckacan or something like that, and Jack Smith. These evil people will get their asses in gear, trying desperately to put together a case that'll stick to Trump and move his numbers down so he won't win. Again, think all that will backfire on him, but they will try anyway. I don't think these people are, I won't lie to you, right now I'm feeling this trepidation, like we're living where we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Normally what happens in American politics when you have a cycle like this, where one side gets in, and for whatever reason or whatever circumstances, their policies just aren't that popular, the politician or the president himself's not that popular. Usually you just go through the cycle and that guy loses. And then you have a transfer of power, and it's orderly, and life goes on. The party out of power, respectfully opposes the party in power, and bides their time till they get another crack in 4 years. Well, the Democrats aren't down with that anymore, and that's what makes me nervous. George Bush won. He just, it looked like he was going to run away with it when the Iraq War was there. And then it had a big recession, and Bush handled it badly. It wasn't that popular a dude to begin with. He lost. I mean, he didn't turn over the table and start wars or do whatever to try to win an election he wasn't going to win. He just took his L and went away. Jimmy Carter, he did the same thing. I mean, he tried to rescue the hostages. He failed. And then basically he just did the campaign the way he tried his best, and he lost and he went away. That's what normally would happen here, is that Joe Biden would simply go away, or his surrogate would go away. Lose and go away. I don't know if these guys are into that, though. I keep thinking about what James Carville said, and it makes me nervous. I know it could be simply, politician, electioneering bravado, where he said, we don't lose. Talking about the Democrat Party. We don't lose. In other words, since Trump got in there, they've just had an unbroken string of success, and they don't lose because they haven't lost since 2016. And that makes me nervous. That may not be, clearly what they did in 2020 was steal the election. I mean, let's not put too fine a point on it. They suppressed free speech. I think I almost, when the pandemic broke out, it was sort of like, wow, this is bad luck. This is terrible, but nobody would do anything like this on purpose. I mean, nobody's that monstrous. Okay, I'm nowhere near that naive anymore. I think it's likely it was done on purpose. I think it's likely it was done on purpose. It was just too coincidental. People that benefited from it had way too much of a motive to do it. And none of those people have shown themselves to be anything other than monsters, basically, in the time in between. So yeah, I sit here now and I go, boy, what a coincidence that was. Damn bad luck there for Donald Trump that pandemic broke out right as he's starting his home stretch to be reelected. Boy, that was bad luck. Yeah, was it bad luck? I wonder. I got no proof. And we'll probably never ever have proof, because that'd be the type of thing that if they ever came out and proved that sort of thing, it'd bring the governments down. They just, if people actually were convinced that that's actually what happened, yeah, I'd like to see that people would be strung up by lampposts at that point. But, that's why that sort of thing never ever comes to light. They're not even going to ask questions about that. So it'll just be, well, we can't go there. Just, for example, what if Jack Kennedy was shot by the CIA? What if Oswald was an employee of the Central Intelligence Agency? Everybody said, no, he was a lone gunman. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean he wasn't doing or working for somebody. It does seem kind of coincidental that he gets shot. What, within 36 hours of doing the president, he himself is killed? Shazam! So, what if that's what happened? But nobody's ever seriously looked at that. Not seriously. So, that's just one of those that's too monstrous for anyone to ever ask questions about. And whether or not the pandemic was done on purpose, that's just one of those that's going to go into history, and no one's ever really going to want to know the answer to that. Not anyone in power, let's put it that way. Oh, sure, us minions out here in the sticks with nothing, yeah, we'd kind of like to know what went down there, but nobody in power is going to pull on that string because it may unravel the power structure that makes them powerful. So nobody's dumb enough to, if you're sitting at the top of the damn Jenga tower, you're not going to then call your buddy and say, hey, can you start pulling blocks down there at the bottom rung of the Jenga tower? Yeah, I want to see what happens. Yeah, you pull the wrong one, you're going to see what happens. You're going to end up on a heap of blocks. So, yeah, they're never going to do that, the powerful people. Of course not. But at any rate, I don't know where I was going with that. But so let's talk about what we have here, the possible people they may try to drop in. Hillary, she's sniffing around. Without a doubt, she would love to get in there. Kamala, I almost think she just is going to accept being passed over. She just is there, and she really makes little noise at all. When people just laugh at her, it's almost like you don't even fight back. I mean, you're such a joke within your own party and you don't even fight back. So that's where that almost makes me think she's not relevant, that she's going to be accepting whatever they do. Newsom, I don't think he's got much of a chance. I think his record in California is just too well known and too bad. It's going to be real hard to convince someone from Pennsylvania that things are going well in California. It's like, well, I see the news, man. I see that people just shit on the sidewalks and nobody does anything. Yeah, we got places like Philadelphia where that happens, but generally it's kind of restricted to Philadelphia in 1 or 2 blocks. It's not like all over the city. So we don't see where this is such a great thing. Shapiro, he's the governor of Pennsylvania. I would say he's a good chance to be dropped in there, except he is a hardcore Jew. I don't care. But apparently, half of the Democrat Party does, and they hate Jews. So I can't see him getting the nod just because he's going to lose. He'll lose Michigan. He will not win Michigan because there are way too many Arab people that hate Jews and are generally Democrats in places like Michigan. So you're asking me why do the younger Democrat people hate the Jewish people? I don't know. Ask them. I don't. I think the Jews are just fine. But hey, that's their problem. Whitmer, she's the governor of Michigan. I don't know. She's a woman. I think that would be in favor for her. Strangely enough, she seems to be relatively popular in Michigan, despite the fact that she was very heavy-handed during the pandemic. That may play against her a little bit in that, there's a little wiggle room there for Trump. Trump wears a lot of the same shoes that these Democrat governors wear in that he shut stuff down too. He wasn't as gung-ho as these bastards were, but he definitely did it. So there's a little wiggle room there for Trump to shoot at that, as the pandemic fades in the rearview mirror, I think it becomes more and more clear that a lot of the draconian measures taken by these bastard governors were bad, as we all screamed at the time. You're stealing our rights from us for no goddamn reason, and you're just doing it and leaving us no recourse, just telling us, shut up, this is your new normal, you got no rights. So this is the one I think we're all afraid of here, Michelle Obama. Now she's made it, I don't know if you want to say clear, she's put it out there she has no interest in being the nominee. She has no interest in politics. Maybe, think about the president that has done the least amount of work that you could possibly think of and be president, and that'd be the current incumbent Joe Biden. Even whatever little work he is doing as president, it pales in comparison to the life of luxury that Michelle Obama is leading. In other words, she's going to have an entire lifestyle change for the next 5 to 8 years. If she decides to do this, you're 14, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week to run and win the presidency. Then now you're the president. That's another 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh, I'm sure they try to make it as luxurious as possible where they can, but you're still on duty damn near every hour of every day, expected to make decisions every hour of every day. There's just a lot of work that she is not doing right now. There's no reason for her to do it right now. I don't know. I could see where that might be the answer. That, hey, you can run for president and you could probably win. And she's probably thinking, man, do I even want to do that? Do I even want to do that? It's possible she might not, that what she is saying is the actual truth, that she has no interest in being involved in that. Now, on the other hand, clearly she's a political person. She's not somebody that just, I don't care about politics. Somebody like, say, a Laura Bush, you might imagine, some other first ladies, Nancy Reagan, where they find some non-political issue like don't do drugs. Yeah, like that's a political issue. Give me a break. Nobody likes to see people get hooked on drugs and die. Hey, illegal drugs. Yay for that. So who can't get behind, hey, just say no to drugs? That kind of a non-political issue. Well, she's not that. She is clearly a political animal, just like Hillary is. So this idea that, oh, I don't want to be involved, bullshit. The question is, does she want to jump? It's like, you're not just sticking your toe in here, Michelle, and writing an op-ed here and there, or maybe giving a speech to a group or raising a little money. This is all in. Now, are you ready to do that? And that's the question. And I think she is going to be the most formidable candidate if she does jump in. I think that she will be able to basically unite the Democrat factions. I think the Biden people will, I don't even know, I think they're one and the same. In other words, where are the Biden people? In other words, are the Biden people somewhat different than Obama people? I think they're all the same. So she would cancel out Kamala. In other words, the black Democrat base, they wouldn't go, well, damn it, that's just another deal here where a white person jumped over a black person, and this is just bullshit. No, because the black person being passed up is being passed up by another black person, so then that'd be all cool. So that she would unite the black base. Yeah, she would mitigate some of that. Trump's making inroads there, not a lot, but definitely enough to make these people worried. Now, she'd mitigate that somewhat, but frankly, the people that Trump is appealing to are the black men. And I don't know how many of the black men are totally wild about Michelle Obama. So that strikes me as being one of those like, oh God, that reminds me of my baby mama, and damn, ugh. So I really kind of think that she may not be a favorite there, but she's definitely going to do better with the black population than Biden is. So, and then the women. My God, the flock tour, the first woman president. It'll be historic. You're going to hear that word 100 million times. Historic. So, yeah, she would be formidable. Frankly, I think she'd probably win. Does she want to do it? That's the tale of it. if I came to you and I said to you, whoever you are out there, I said, you person watching YouTube, you have a unique set of skills, a unique personality that if you run for president, people will love you. They are going to love you, you will win, and you will be the president of the United States of America. I think at least half of you would do it. I think half of you would say, I don't know. I hate speaking in public. I'm afraid. I don't know. If I just kept convincing you, it's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, you just watched Joe Biden make a fool of himself, stumbling and stammering, and he's been in the political arena for 100 years. You just saw how badly he did, and still half the country loves this guy. So you can do as well as that guy can do, and you have no public speaking experience. You're going to be great. They're going to love you. I bet I could convince half of you to do it. Half of you to go ahead and say, hell yes, I'm going to run for president. That's where I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to do it. I did this nonsense about, oh, I don't want to do it. Bullshit. You've got all the people that you've ever loved, respected, that you know are coming to you, begging you to be the savior, and you're going to tell them no? No. She'll go. She's going to do it. I have always said this, have I not? That this is your nominee. And I think it will be your nominee. And let's put it this way. If Obama, Pelosi, Schumer, I don't know who else is a power broker there in the Democrat Party. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. They all get together and they go to Jill Biden and say, we are going to submarine the hell out of your husband and make him look like an absolute fool. Furthermore, we may end up making sure that some people go to jail that you might not like yourself. I honestly don't think they could leverage Jill Biden with Hunter. She hates Hunter. So I don't know that she gives a shit if he goes to jail. She might be able to frighten them if they threaten Joe, but that just feels like a bridge too far, and they wouldn't be able to, she wouldn't take him seriously. It's like, are you kidding me? You're not going to prosecute my husband. You wouldn't get to first base. And she's probably right. But there's probably some slower hanging fruit that they could leverage Jill Biden and get dickhead Joe Biden out of the race. So we'll see where they go from here. I think they're going to give it another try and take a run at Jill and see if they can convince her to drop out. You know, that they have, I guess, 6 weeks? They have 6 weeks to convince him to, they need to have a candidate before they go into their convention in Chicago. You're not going to go into Chicago just as a free-for-all and just duke it out there like some of these media people, you know, they fantasize about this sort of thing. It's like, look, that's not the way it's done, particularly in the Democrat Party. I mean, this is the Democrat, you know, this goes back to, you know, old American history. It was done in the smoky back rooms, and that's where it's going to be done. You know, in the high table, they're going to get together and they're going to figure out who it's going to be and who, you know, who it's not going to be. Well, you're going to have to, it's politics. You're going to have to pay these people something to back whoever's picked. You know, use whatever term you want, you know, money, power, what have you, a position, but you're going to have to give these people something that are being set to the side to join whoever is placed on top. And they will. I mean, I think it may be messy, but at the end of the day, I cannot imagine the Democrat Party is going to be split or disjointed. when they're coming towards the finish line. And again, they very well may be united behind Joe Biden. I'm not saying that this run at Biden to get him to drop out is going to be successful. They just may not have enough steam. They may be, Joe Biden, you're trying to get an old man with dementia to do something he doesn't want to do. Have you ever tried to do that? I have. It's very difficult. It's damn difficult. Good luck with that. And by that I mean, I hope you have no luck at all, Democrats. But yeah, good luck with that. So who knows? Joe Biden might just say, I don't give a damn what you do. Well, you're going to investigate me? For what? I haven't done anything wrong. I can remember. I don't know. Hey, fuck you. I assume that's about what you might get out of the guy. So, you can't, what are you going to do? Turn him loose then and just say he's out, we're putting somebody else in, and the president, he has the delegates. He has the nomination by their rules. So they can't very well just throw him out without his assent, without him agreeing to it. So, again, trying to get a demented old man to do something that he doesn't want to do. Good for them. That's their problem. The betting numbers before the debate, 51 Trump, 36 Biden. That's about the same spread as before the conviction of Trump. I imagine that number will temporarily spread further after the debate. But then it's going to tighten up. I guarantee it'll tighten up. Right now it'll be like, oh my God, Trump can't lose. Biden has no chance. Biden has a lot of chance. A lot of chance. If you're betting right now, don't bet on Trump. You're getting a bad price. The numbers are going to tighten up. You're going to get Trump cheaper in the cycle later because there's going to be a huge push for Joe Biden if he ends up being the actual nominee. Once they finally give up and go, all right, we don't know what else to do. We're going to ride or die with this guy. There's a lot of stuff they could do. I still keep coming back to, I'm thinking they have a war going on right now. If they think they can get more votes by escalating the war, they'll do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. If they think lobbing a cruise missile into Russian territory and blowing up a Russian town will help them win fill in the blank state, they'll do it today, tomorrow, every day ending in Y. And that's what makes me nervous, is that it's so easy for them. In other words, it would be just so easy for these guys to escalate. And if they're certain they're going to lose, what do they have to lose? In other words, well, they might lose worse. The people might see through that for what it is, a stupid, cheap trick to try to wag the dog and distract us from the election and rally around the flag effect. Or you just might get the rally around the flag effect and get a hell of a lot more votes than you were going to otherwise. We were going to lose otherwise, but we got nothing to lose now, so let's escalate to 4 and see if we can somehow win the election without killing us all. These are the things that I think about and make me nervous. But it is what it is. We're strapped in. We're along for the ride until, God willing, latter half of January 25, Donald Trump goes back into the White House and these evil sons of bitches are sent to the sidelines. At least we'll be able to relax for a few years if that happens. Otherwise, oh boy. Oh boy. All right, so that's my take on the debate. Don't get too excited. Nothing happened tonight. The election certainly was not won tonight. It was not won. It was not lost. It was a good night for Trump. It was a bad night for Biden. Ultimately, though, we don't know really if it hurts Biden's chances to win or not, or more accurately, the Democrats' chances to win or not. In other words, if tonight was the reason that they're able to drop in a superior candidate like Michelle Obama, gee, aren't we all going to wish that Joe Biden was a little more with it tonight? Yeah, we are. I'm Eric Arnold. I believe in free speech. We'll talk again.